So Deadlock just had its first major holiday update. We had a few seasonal events take place over Halloween, but now that Christmas is upon us, everybody's dressing up. The team over at Valve, led by Yoshi, has announced that this is the last major update Deadlock will be receiving through this calendar year. This pretty much signals that yes, the majority of the individuals at Valve Software are about to go onto holiday break, and we likely will not be seeing major content updates for any of their games until mid-January. It does, however, look like the patch notes guy has already gone on break. We have no idea what was actually in this update. We had to look through all the files, diff check it, data mine it, and figured out that Valve put a massive amount of effort into what is supposed to be a throwaway holiday update for a game that isn't even technically announced or released yet. Hey, real quick, before we get started, this video is sponsored by Polybuzz, an app that lets you create custom character chatbots and talk to them, or whatever. It's got like 10 million downloads, so it looks like people are into it. The idea is you build a chatbot, give it a personality, and then chat with it, or share it with your friends if that's what you want to do. Personally, I just made a character and messed around with it for a bit. It's easy to use, and it's fun. I also created a chatbot based on Barney Calhoun, and asked him if he knew what Half-Life 2 was, and Tyler McVicker. Apparently, Tyler McVicker is a very talented voice actor responsible for the voice of Gordon Freeman. It's also on Google Chrome, but the best experience is on mobile. Also, searching my code Tyler77 in the Polybuzz search bar will offer you a great deal and access to some amazing features. Link in the description and the pinned comment. I'd like to send a huge thanks to Polybuzz for sponsoring this video, and let's get back to the stuff you actually came for. All of the major heroes and none of the Heroes Lab heroes got a holiday rework. Some more significant than others, like Abrams and Professor Dynamo. Everybody has at least something. The heroes that we know that are getting some kind of model reworks in the future, specifically in 2025, pretty much only had a hat put on them. The only exception to that rule being Yamato, who actually is wearing a very festive dress. Even though we know that Yamato is going to be getting a rework, that's just straight up the Neon Prime design. Valve also created new holiday music for the main menu, the Curio Shop, and the Secret Shop. Valve had Dynamo revoice a whole bunch of stuff.
Good King Wenceslas looked out on the feast of Stephen, when the snow lay round about, deep and crisp and even. Brightly shone the moon that night, though the frost was cruel, when a poor man came in sight, gathering winter fuel. 'Twas the night before the Maelstrom, and all through the house a Columbia professor got no sleep because he was afraid of death.
Valve had the newscaster, that talking head that's literally in a stand throughout the map that is currently the only way to get lore.
This month, Maximilian Fairfax made headlines after donating a small fortune to New York orphanages. When asked about his generous act, the CEO of Fairfax Industries replied, "No one should be without family on the holidays."
The holiday outfits are actually unlockable. Valve went and created a festive system. In order for a character to become festive, they need to do something specific in-game. They're effectively missions, and each mission is different for each hero. So, for example, as Abrams, you need to get a 5-kill streak. Unfortunately, because we didn't get any patch notes from Valve Software, it is completely up to the fans to figure out exactly what it is we're supposed to do to unlock these things. You're looking at it on your screen. And as of recording, this is what we know. Not all of these are currently confirmed, but you can try your best and do everything here. My main, 7, requires that I kill someone with the Thunderbolt in the ultimate. That's a recent addition to that ult. The Thunderbolt is an extra thing you can do once per ult. Killing somebody with it seems easy enough, but it doesn't actually do as much damage as you would expect until you hit around tier 3 or tier 4. Did you know that the shopkeeper is named Hot Dog?
The big guy know you're working for him?
Deadlock is amazing. It honestly reminds me of how Valve used to handle Team Fortress 2 around 2010 to 2013. It's the same kind of energy. It's the same kind of passion. The fact that they did all of this just for a throwaway holiday event that's going to be over in like a week and a half shows that A, they are definitely planning on supporting this long term, and B, they have a whole lot of ideas for the future. Because aside from that, it's been constant updates. Every few weeks, we've been getting new heroes put into hero labs. A lot of Neon Prime content that was likely shelved during the Switch is now being tested in Deadlock. We have heroes like Schlork just being put in the game. That's the Neon Prime hero. They're likely going to remodel it if he works, but heroes like Magician and Trapper, they're all from Neon Prime, and they're just trying to expand the game. Exactly how long it's going to take until the game is actually released or even announced is up in the air. What we do know, and this is according to the files, is that in 2025, Deadlock is going to expand. Right now, Deadlock is the 4-lane MOBA third-person shooter. The game is programmed modularly in a way that these heroes can experience different game modes. Back in the Neon Prime days, there were 2-lane maps. There were multiple maps that you could play on. There was even a payload, capture point, and capture the flag game modes experimented with. These are things that are likely going to be added back into Neon Prime in order to not only keep people playing, as the 4-lane MOBA mode takes a long time and some people can grow fatigued, but also just to experiment with what these characters are capable of. There's obviously a lot of lore, a lot of passion, and a lot of very interesting concepts being experimented with here. And as a person who normally does not enjoy MOBAs whatsoever, I really do love playing Deadlock when I have the time. I'm just terrible at it. But I've found, at least when playing unranked, that most people are really nice and understanding and help you out. It's honestly a great experience, and while the player numbers are not at the peak of when the game first became widely known, it's still getting decent player numbers, queue times are not that long, and the game is still heavily supported by a lot of different people. So 2025 is going to be a very interesting year for Valve Software. And yes, in the holiday update, there was some new strings in relation to plastic deformation, a thing we talked about in the last episode of the HLX files. So yes, there was one thing related to Half-Life 3 found in this data mine. But for Deadlock, in 2025, expect many new characters being pulled out of Hero Labs and put into the main game, different game modes, new maps, and new ways of unlocking cosmetics and experiencing the lore. I would not be surprised if we got Meet the Team style shorts for the major players within this lore. So characters like Abrams, Holiday, Lady Geist, Professor Dynamo are likely going to be getting some kind of short, and will definitely be getting comic books. It's really, really cool. I really love that Valve is putting a lot of effort into this, and I do believe that Yoshi is running this ship really well. I also believe that the switch from Neon Prime to Deadlock was a good one. I mean, there was Neon Prime gameplay footage in the files. This looks way better. But yeah, I'd love to know what you think of Deadlock, what the game needs, what you hope it receives in 2025. If you're not interested in it, yet you still watch this video, I appreciate it, and I'd love to know why you don't like it. Leave that in the comment section below. But anyways, I'm Tyler McVicker, the Passionate Gamer. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to join the community, keep up with what I'm working on, talk about everything that we talk about, plus way more, the Discord server invite link is down in the description below, and my Blue Sky page is also down there. I'll see y'all next time. Peace and hair grease. Adios.